Okay, man, I finally got my man here, man. Feel real good, man. I know you don't need no introduction, but I'm going to have to do it anyway, man. Two-time world champion, played for 4 or 5 teams, NBA coach. I think you off the circuit. You might be married, so I don't want to go too far about your Playboy days back in the day, way back in the day, right? But, man, Sam Cassell, good to have you here, man.
What's up, man? What's
Oh,
up,
man,
bro?
good to
What's up,
have you,
baby?
man.
Always a pleasure, man.
Right off the break,
Always
man.
a
You know,
pleasure.
a lot of people know about you, man. But for the people who might don't know, man, where you from? How you grew up?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, East Baltimore. Come from a small family, man. My grandmother, had a grandmother, my aunt Norma. My mother was 15 years old when she gave birth to me. So basically, you know, we grew up raising each other, man. You know, so. But I give a lot of credit to like I said, my grandmother, Joan Cassell, and my aunt, her name was Norma Ringo, who, if anybody knows me in Baltimore, they knew them. You know what I'm saying? Because they was the enforcers of my family. They held it down for me. You know, I didn't have everything, but I had enough. I had enough to get by. I didn't know I was poor. You know what I'm saying?
Grandma had that love.
Yeah, I didn't know I was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because she ain't never allowed me to feel like. She always say, especially my Norma, you know, poor is a thought. You know, you
That's
feel
what
poor, you know what I'm saying?
Norma said, poor is a thought.
That's all it is, it's a thought. It's a thought, you know what I'm saying? So she's always tell me that, you know, and you know, so when I got some money, you know, I ain't feel that way at all.
Okay. Every time you meet a Baltimore guy, look, they gonna say I'm from Baltimore. They gonna say, well, I'm from East or I'm from West. They gonna tap that in it, right? So what's the difference, man? East and West Baltimore. What's the difference?
Man, I got like I have a lot of friends in West Baltimore, and I have a lot. I'm from East Baltimore. You know, I was one of the dudes who can go, you know, over West, over East, South Baltimore. But I think the difference is, it's just everything is different. It's how we dress over West Baltimore, how they dress over West Baltimore, how we dress over East Baltimore.
Which one more decide when your mother and say, don't get caught over there? They say that more East or more in the West, or they say both? Or?
It's both of them was bad places, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, basketball sheltered me so long, so I didn't have to really get into that part. I know I had friends, you know, I had a friend named, good friend of West Baltimore named Brian Bailey, man, was my guy, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's a good friend. I met him through Keith Goody.
Yeah.
You know, your man Keith Goody, you know what I'm saying? And then Bailey was my man. And how we met, man, you know, Bailey was a go hard dude over West, you know what I'm saying? And we was playing basketball, and I dunked on him. You know, and it's crazy when I tell people I dunked on somebody, so I didn't do it too often. And man, after that day, he looked at me and said, "Shorty, you got some heart, Shorty." I said, "I'm just balling," you know what I'm saying? And we became cool every day after that, man.
And Baltimore known to be, you know, heavy urban academic city.
Yeah.
And you never had no brush of law. You never tried to get in the streets. You never came across your lap in a way.
No, I think that's why like I had I had more friends in the streets than basketball. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of my friends that was in the street respect me, you know, as a young guy, 15 and 14 years old, that I never even hinted of going that way. You know, I always wanted to give myself a chance, you know. Even though if I failed, I always wanted to give myself a chance to try to succeed in this basketball thing, man. You know, early I caught the basketball bug when I was like, made my first team when I was 8 years old. It was 10-12 basketball team, and you know, we was pretty good. And the Mr. Howell, our coach, was a guy who like, no, I'm gonna keep Sam Cassell and his son Leon Howard. I'm gonna keep both of them. And we was 8 years old, man. Like we, you know, but he just kept us on the team just because he wanted to groom us. So now when we got to be 10 years old, we be ready to play. You know, Kirkley, Dennis Patterson. We had
a mob.
We had a mob, man. We had a mob.
The son Leon, whoever he may be, he was an 8-year-old Sam. He can boogie.
Yeah, he can boogie too. That was my running mate.
Oh, okay.
That was my running mate, and it's so funny, man. We'd be on the bench, we'd be on the bench, man, and we'd be up like 54-2 points, man. And man, we be playing, man. We playing hand games, thumb games, twisting games with our fingers, and you know, then he'll say, "Sam, Leon, get in the game." And, like 2 minutes to go in the game. We 8 years old, you know, and school be like We beat a team. It don't make no sense. 128-2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they should have kicked y'all coach out the league, man. He ain't supposed to do that to those people, man.
But when we took our start, he took the starts out. We was just so deep. You know what I'm saying? You just keep going. Keep going. Yeah.
Let me ask you. I know you had a good support from your grandmother. You know, it seemed like the women was in the house, but did you have any drug use in the house? And I'm asking that because I remember a while ago I read something with the boy Dixon, man. He had lost both his parents to drugs, man. How was that coming up?
Yeah, like, man, my mother, family, mother, father, you know, aunts, uncles, all of them was addicted to drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the best part about it, you know, my father was, you know, he passed away 2 years ago on COVID, and anybody know my father and my relationship was like, you know, that's his man. You know what I'm saying? My pops was my man, and you know, when I got into the league, and I told him before I got in the league, I said, if you want to be a part of what I'm ready to transpire in my life, you got to clean yourself up, man. And you know, to his success, man, to him as a man, he did it. He did it, man. My father, before he passed away, was clean 35 years, man. 35 years, you know.
He was a young man that had.
Yeah. Like, so seeing a guy on drugs or a woman on drugs or whoever was on drugs was like, it was a normal thing. You know how it was. It's like a normal thing. Like, man, Slim fucked up or she fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I never let that discourage me. I always wanted to find a way out. I seen being in Baltimore, I saw guys who was ahead of me, who was good ball players and got caught up in that life, man, and never could respond back. So I always wanted to give myself a chance, you know. You know, it was crazy, you know. It wasn't easy for me to get to, you know, a 13-year starter in the NBA. I got there.
You went through some trials.
I went through some trials.
Yeah, and what's the name? What coming up there was you know, when you can play like you can play. I know in my town, you getting money. You take a like somebody can play. You say, man, you know you don't want them in the streets.
Right.
But you set up games. They play for money.
Yeah.
So the street guys ever get you play against other guys for the money.
Anytime, anytime, like, you know. But a lot of guys wouldn't play me because they knew I was, you know. I was pretty good, man. Like, I was 15 years old, and you know, it'd be grown men trying to play me, like 21, 22 years old, you know, trying to play me, you know.
So that's true. You was 16 years old. You played unlimited, and you was frying unlimited. At 16.
I was 16. Like,
grown men, 23, 24.
Not really scoring the ball, but I can get anywhere on the court where I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like at 16 years old, I could get anywhere on the court. So when if Muggsy ain't played that day and the coach said, okay, Sam, you're gonna start, he was cool with me starting. He was cool with me starting.
He lose no sleep.
He Sam here, we cool.
Yeah. So what high school did you play for?
I went through the Dunbar High School.
The
Dunbar Poets of Baltimore, Maryland. The Dunbar.
What year was it when you made varsity?
I made varsity my sophomore year, and it was crazy, man. Like, and I came to Dunbar with so much hype because all the street dudes, I don't care if you're from west, south, east, you love how I played the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? You just love me because I had a lot of character. I like to have fun. I joked all the time. I smiled all the time when I played, but I was getting it done. You know, so. I didn't start right away. Listen, man, Mr. Wade, you know, shout out to Bar Wade. Man, he took me through a whole lot, man. It got to a point, man, I cried to his wife and say, why is he doing this to me? Because, but I knew he was trying to get guys on our team scholarships and everything that was seniors. Juniors trying to get more coaches to see them. I had 3 years left, so he knew that my time would come. That's how, you know, Coach Wade was. You know what I'm saying? He wanted everybody that came through his program to get a scholarship.
Everybody to win.
Yeah, he wanted somebody. He wanted everybody to win. Like he didn't care. Like if he had to sacrifice, you know, my playing time. You know, it was crazy, bro. It was like I had 4 guys starting in front of me my sophomore year that I knew I was better than all 4 of them. No disrespect to them guys, you know, but they knew, like, come on, they knew, you know. I got there at Dunbar, They knew that I was supposed to have been the starting PG from day one. You know, it got to a point. Coach Wade put our star football player named Nathan Ayers, who was he was a good, he was a decent basketball player, but he's an awesome football player, running back. He started him in front of me. And that was the last straw, you know, for me personally, man. I couldn't take it no more as a player. You know, I went through, I was like, man, what is he doing, man? Like, and I cried to his mother and his wife, and she came to me. And the next day, he was like, Sam, turn your jersey over. You know, and I'm like, they ain't getting this back no more. They will not get this spot back no more.
Hey, no disrespect was the way, but the wife must say when he got in that bed, say, you ain't getting none of this, man. Leave that boy alone.
I don't know what she did.
I don't know what she did,
but she got it done for me. She got it done. But no, it couldn't. You know, if I don't know. I think he sent me a message like, you know, because I had so much hype coming in. You know what I'm saying? I was getting recruited by Ivy High School in Baltimore, man. Carlton Gibbons, Calvert Hall. It was so crazy. You know, I got accepted to Dunbar, but when my letter came to go to school, it sent me to my zone school, Patterson. And the head coach at Patterson, a guy named Mr. Seymour, he's my 6th grade teacher in elementary school. He was the head basketball coach. So I don't know how the paperwork got mixed up. And all that time, he knew that Dunbar was my destination.
And who was your rivalry? Whose school was the rivalry in high school?
Oh, we had Lake Clifton was our rival, Walbrook, Southern. You know, we had a few rivals, but I think Lake Clifton was our biggest rival. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the? Give me your because Dunbar. I know they got a rich history, very rich history. Give me your top 5 guys come on Dunbar. I mean, it don't have to be in no order, but just give me your top 5 guys.
That I heard about. I never seen Skip Wise play. You know, until after I got a little older, and I was, he's my backcourt mate. You know, it was. I think you got it. For what I hear around town, you know, for me, my top 5 that I have seen and saw, I say Reggie Lewis.
Okay.
I say Reggie Williams. I say Muggsy Bogues. Man, it's so many. It's so many. Like, you know, you got Ernie Graham. You got Ernie Graham.
You got one left. I mean.
You know, if you listen to our poor followers, the people who followed the program, they say I'm not in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Top 5 period. You know.
But I think it might make sense now that if he shuffled the deck with you like that.
Well,
he shuffled the deck like that.
Who knows? You had Dickie Kelly. You had so many guys that's from.
My man Michael Lloyd.
Michael Lloyd. You had Dante Bright. You had Keith Booth. Man, it's Norman Nolan. You had so many Boosie Thornton. We had underdogs that went to college and just, just blew up. There's so many guys that came at that because it was such a competitive school. You know, like you'd rather wait 2 years before you get a chance for your senior year to play.
Just to be in that
back
jersey.
then down at Dunbar. Right. That's how it was, man.
And who's somebody with the Dunbar that don't make that list? But the Dunbar players know he fry everybody, but he don't make that list to a regular fan.
Kirk Lee.
Kirk Lee.
My best friend, man. Kirk Lee. Don't get the credit he deserved. Kirk Lee was a bad boy. You know, Kirk Lee was one of our pure shooters at Dunbar, but he had so many other parts to his game that people didn't realize. He had a great post game. You know, that's the one thing that it was so different than Baltimore, than DC. You know, we had guys who straight out. You know, our coaches as young, Mr. Lee, Mr. Howard, Sarge. You know, they always told us, listen, great scores don't take all day with the basketball. You know, do it quicker. Do it quicker. So we always had a rule. You got to massage the ball that long, pass it. Give somebody else a chance. So that's why we used to always have success when we played against teams out of town because, we was going to defend. We was going to defend, and we never had a lot of height. We was always used to playing guys. And we was just used to playing guys bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? Bigger and sometimes more stronger than us. But that was never a factor to us, man. We just, do it harder.
Right. And it's crazy because you said that name, that Skip Wise, like he one player that he might be the only player that I can think of that whoever you ask Universal, ain't nobody said nothing but a bad dude.
Yeah, you think about it. He was No, he made first team or rookie team, first team ACC as a freshman.
Right, that's the first time
At
ever been
Clemson.
done, right?
Yeah, as a freshman, like John Lucas and Phil Ford and them. When you talk to them guys about Skip Wash, they don't speak nothing
Right.
but great things about him. Like man, because they never seen a guy that big and that can shoot like that, can handle the ball, like Skip was handling the basketball. But
And what's the name that you said earlier when you first said it, you say D Dunbar. I'm saying like when you talk to these DC Dunbars, man, you talking about them Bebe Dawns and Mike Smith and Trey Kelly, man, they go off, and then when you talk to the Baltimore, the Dunbar up there, man, that's like the Crips and Bloods,
yeah,
man.
right. It's just a different look. I've been to Dunbar, DC gym a lot of times, and I see a few banners up there.
You see a few?
I see a few banners up there. You know what I'm saying? You walk in to the we call
Stacey
out
Robinson, you gotta get on top of Sam.
We call our gym the East Side Garden because of the Boston Garden.
Right.
We call it the East Side Garden, and it wasn't too much losing going in the East Side Garden. East Side Dunbar back in the day, man, was when Muggsy Bogues was in school and Reggie Williams and Reggie Lewis and David Wingate, man. Like it was like must see. It was must see. So and that's how Coach Wade didn't have to recruit because all the young guys that was up and coming basketball players, we got them free. We got them free because when you see them come out that tunnel, man, as a kid at 13 years old and 14 with my teammates and seeing Muggsy Bogues and run out that locker room, man, and just send chills and the crowd going crazy. You had to be a part of that. You weren't getting that from Calvin Hall. You weren't getting that from Carlton Gibbs. You was getting that sometimes at Lake Clifton, but in the East Side Garden, you got it every night.
Yeah, but when Dunbar was winning all them banners, and y'all got a lot of banners up there, them other teams, like Clifton, Patterson, how was them teams being ranked nationally?
Well, Lake Clifton was ranked. Walbrook was ranked a few times. Southern was ranked a few times, but we just had we had the best uniforms. We traveled the best. We had the best sweatsuits. Because we was the only team. Really had a major shoe deal. Coach Wade had a shoe deal back then. He was the head of the Nike All-American, which they call it the ABCD camp. He was the head of it. No coach, high school coach was bigger than Mr. Wade at that time with Nike.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know Dunbar. I have a lot of debates with, say, my buddies in Baltimore, the Dunbar joint, man. They can go all night with that joint. I always say, man, I always tease them and say, they was coming all over side transfer going away. Cause a little bird told me you supposed to went to Calvin Hall. They say somebody talked to y'all the last minute.
No,
man.
it was
you slammed on brakes.
Well, my
man.
grandmother when they came to recruit me, my grandmother said, "How you gonna get to school?" And they told them I had to catch 2 buses. My grandma said, "Oh, I can't get them up at 7:30. I told them I got to get them at 6 o'clock."
Right.
That ain't happening. Right. And she knew it. She knew me. Say if Sam's gonna go to a school that he could walk to.
Right.
If he can't walk there, he ain't going. Because I walked to school all my life.
Yeah, your grandmother, she knew you.
She knew me. My grandmother and my aunt Norma, they knew me. They like, this boy ain't going no. Calvin Hall, wait a second. Towson. Oh, he definitely ain't Towson. That boy ain't never been to Towson. Now you gonna go to school up to Towson? Nah, he ain't doing that.
Who was the player in Baltimore that you watched and gave you that hunger to get in the gym early? Like, man, he inspired me to get to the next level. Who was that player?
Man, it's like it was so many guys, man. Like we had a guy named Koshal. We had Koshal Duke. We had Cook Lee, oldest brother, that don't get the respect he deserved. Ralph Lee, he was the big 6'5" point guard that no one saw. You know what I'm saying? That just watching them play, man. And that one, I couldn't get on the court because I was too young to play with the big guys at that particular time. But just watching them go up down the court with ease, the competitive nature, man. It was fun. Like, it was so many guys that I just had to be a part of it. But the thing that took me over the top, Bone, I wasn't gonna give up. I was not gonna give up on my dreams because I knew that if I can get this school thing right, I'm going. Like I said, I had so many dudes. Like I never had no problem with nobody, no dudes in Baltimore, like trying to do something to me because I knew the toughest dudes in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Some of the toughest dudes in Baltimore, they was my guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I grew up around. I can Okay, somebody do something to me. AJ, like.
Right. Yeah, the goons on speed
Yeah,
dial.
it was just not even speed dial. Walk up to him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I got older, when I got to high school and I was like doing my thing, them guys was like,
Right.
it's easy.
Right. And I tell people all the time, I say, man, if you can hoop, if you're a bad motherfucker, you can go in any penitentiary in the United States and might don't see might don't see a knife. Everybody gonna be like, man, stay the fuck away from him.
Right. He on the team, right.
He on the team. Stay the hell away from him, man. So that's definitely that ball skill set is definitely a hell of a joint, man.
Out the park, niggas know me. Curtbone, little homie. All days, yeah. Been a road, yeah.
Thank you for watching Changing Jewels on CurtboneTV. If you like the jewels that we're dropping, subscribe, hit the notification, and share with some friends. And I'll see you on the next episode of Changing Jewels, CurtboneTV.